little while ago, and I just was wondering, do you guys have this person at work that you've never actually had a conversation with, like a one-on-one convo, but you like could write their life story because they're constantly talking about their business at the top of their lungs? It's like, okay, they're on the phone and they're like, yeah, I've got a plumber at my house, and they're being all loud and stuff, and then they come over and like apologize to you for being all loud, and it's like, yeah, right, that's why you don't need to like be so loud. You could go outside, or you could, go over there, or you could speak quietly, or whatever. I don't know. Never mind. Forget that one. Okay, start over. Have you guys ever gone out on a Friday night and ended up somewhere a little different than where you would normally go? I had this experience recently. One of my girlfriends invited me to a bar called Jazz Central. And I thought, well, Jazz Central, now that sounds nice. And it sounds like, maybe we'll be listening to some jazz. But I could not have been more wrong. And I get there, and the first bad sign was that the girl at the door taking the money had Dayton tattooed across her breasts. And, not that I'm against breast tattoos, but of all the things to tattoo across your chest, I probably wouldn't choose that one. But so we get there and we go inside, and as the band begins to play, I realized it was the same kind of music that makes me want to throw myself in front of a bus. It was that screamo death metal music that you can't understand, like, any of the words. Hope I'm not offending anyone. I've never been here before. But it was like... It's like, and there's no like space between the music. It's just like chord, and then like next song, like you don't even get like a 2-second break to like for your brain to stop bleeding. But the most interesting thing about this kind of music is that the people, like when they're watching it, they're just totally still, and they're just like staring at them, and like nobody's dancing. But I don't really know how you could dance to this kind of music unless you were just going to hurl yourself against the wall until you lapsed into unconsciousness. And so but the people in front of me, like I knew that they were having a good time because they were this young couple and they were like all kind of preppy or whatever. And I knew that the guy part of the couple was having the time of his life because he started like barely tapping his foot. As if, like, I wondered in his mind, was he just like, I love this part. This is my favorite song ever. Rock and roll. But, and I just wondered, like, what was the rest of their conversation? Were they just, like, planning out the rest of the weekend, like, oh, yeah, church on Sunday, like, yeah, and Bob Evans afterwards for, like, a tasty country fresh omelet? Yes, I love the home fries. That's my favorite. So, but yeah, so I had to get out of there, and I like happy music. I like Spanish music especially, or anything happy with a beat. So I started doing Zumba recently, which I don't know if you guys know what Zumba is, but it's like aerobics with like a Latin flavor. And so I started going, and at first it was in this big gymnasium, and you had all this room, and then they changed it to a smaller room, which happened to be lined with mirrors, kind of like this, interestingly. And if you've never seen yourself doing Zumba, you might think you're kind of good. No. I was devastated. All that time in my head, I was like dancing like, Beyonce or like J-Lo back in the Fly Girl days on In Living Color. And then, then in those mirrors, it was just like reality just hit me in the face. I was like, yeah, Zumba, woo, yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's the best. So, but anyways, that's okay, I still go. All right, for my closer, I'm going to wrap it up here. I don't know if anybody has ever known a cat lady, or you might be one, but I have some of the signs that you might be a cat lady. Kind of like Jeff Foxworthy's, you might be a redneck. This is you might be a cat lady if. Number 1, if you have more cats than you have bedrooms in your house, you might be a cat lady. If your cat has its own wardrobe, you might be a cat lady. If your cats have middle names, You might be a cat lady. If your profile picture on Facebook is your favorite cat, meow. If you can't choose a favorite because you're too afraid of hurting the other one's feelings, you also might be a cat lady. If you're allergic to cats but own one anyways, that's me. You might be a cat lady. If you buy kitty litter in bulk, you might be a cat lady. If you open a can of Fancy Feast and you start to salivate also, this is another sign. If you have framed pictures of your cat on your desk at work, you are most likely a cat lady. If people think you smoke weed because you have little piles of catnip all around your apartment, you're a cat lady. If you feel the need to take a shower and immediately start licking yourself, you might be a cat lady. If you've ever finished having sex and realized your cat was underneath the bed the whole time, you might be a cat lady. If you've ever missed work because your cat was stuck in the floorboards, you might be a cat lady. And finally, if that frog in your throat is really a hairball, my friend, you are a cat lady.